Hi, everybody. Hi. Good morning to one and all. We continue. The Mimer, the Hasidic discourse, said on the Rebbe's birthday in 1978, Yud Aleph Nisan, Ki Yishalcha Bincha, and your child will ask. Lamer, what did they ask? Ma Eidos Chukim Mishpatim. What are the three different categories of mitzvahs? Testimonies, like Shabbos and Tefillin, Chukim, statutory laws that are beyond logic, like not wearing wool and linen, or the law of red heifer that brings purification to someone who comes in contact with a corpse, and mishpatim that are ordinances, laws that are rational and logical, like theft, business law, and so on. So, what are all these that Hashem, our God, has commanded you? So, in our discussion, we are elaborating on the three different types of mitzvahs. And the three different types of mitzvahs um, are three different components of each mitzvah. So even a mitzvah that is rational, like theft and business law, there's a component of it that is beyond rationale, chukim. And likewise, those that are chukim, that are beyond rationale, there's an element of rationality and logic that's in it. Now, what is the distinction between the three? Is that each one reflects, draws down, embodies a different element of the divine. Mishpatim, ordinances, rational laws, are reflecting and drawing down by the observance of the law a light of God that fills the world, just as the mind fills us and fulfills us. When you have an understanding of something, right? What does it do? It fills you up, right? You feel a completion in a sense, because it doesn't just fill your mind, but it fills your heart as a result, because an understanding brings something to the heart. So in a sense, it fills you. So in the fulfillment of that component of a mitzvah, the mishpatim is drawing down godliness into the world, and it brings it into the limitation of the limitation of the world. The world is limited, and intelligence also is limited, has its limitations, right? Then there is godliness that is beyond the world, that isn't filling the world as the soul fills the body. God's light fills the world, and animates this cup uniquely different than animates me, right? L'chaim. Then there is the animation that's drawn down, the light, the life of Hashem that's drawn down, that's beyond the world, not limited to the parameters of the nature of the world. Not to that which we can perceive and understand and appreciate. and that is Soiviv, the all-encompassing light of God. That is drawn down into this world when we observe a mitzvah, not just a mitzvah that is a chayk, that is beyond logic, right? But every mitzvah, that component that's beyond logic, right? Through chukim, the statutory laws. It's beyond logic. Beyond logic means it's negating logic. There's no room for logic, if you will, right? Logic is an aspect of creation. God created, rational and logic, and it's part of creation. God's not limited to it. He's beyond it. That's the soiv of the all-encompassing light of Hashem. That light is brought into this world through the observance of that component of a mitzvah that is chukim, that is beyond our understanding. Right? Then we have edus, testimonies. That draws down the core essence of God. It doesn't negate intelligence. This is the light of God that is completely, you can't say that's beyond the world, because beyond the world means it's relative to the world. And that's why it's that light is, when we speak about chukim, statutory laws that are beyond rationale, right? Beyond means it's relative to it. It's comparable to it. And that's why it's beyond it. And that's why we say it's encompassing from beyond. But then there is Atzmos, the essence of God. Can't say about the essence of God, well, he's beyond intelligence. Intelligence, it's like saying, this idea, I can't grasp it in my hand. That's a ridiculous statement, because ideas are not to be grasped in the hand. There's no relationship to begin with an idea and grasping it in your hands. It's a ridiculous idea. Even though both things are they're a thing, but yet it's a ridiculous statement. So likewise with God, it's a ridiculous statement to say he's beyond rationale. Soiviv, that aspect of God that's encompassing light of God, is beyond. But God himself, the essence of God, beyond, rational, non-rational, beyond, it's all the same. No difference. Right? We can't put God into a box and say, oh, he's beyond, he's beyond our human rationale. That's already putting him into a box. Right? The box of being beyond. Oh, you mean he has to be beyond? That means that's a limitation. I'd say that. Edus, when we fulfill a mitzvah with the component of it being a testimony, oh, what's it a testimony of? God himself. Got that? Yeah? Testimony of God himself. It's an abstract idea. This is very, got to pay attention. It's not a simple, l'chaim. Okay. Now, to bring this idea out further, just to bring out this idea further, that the edus, right, testimony aspect of a mitzvah right? All mitzvahs have that component, right? Every mitzvah has each of the three components, right? One will dominate more than another, but all of them are testimony, right? Because all of them are revealing the essential concealment of the essence of God. That's even beyond God being beyond, as we said, right? And we see that that's the idea of what's a testimony? What does it mean? Witness gives testimony. Witness doesn't need to give testimony that I'm holding a cup, right? Why? Because we see it. We see it. You don't need testimony, right? No, it's okay. You came in. Someone came in. Right. No testimony needed for this, right? Because we all witness it. Okay. Do you need a testimony of that something that you don't see now, that I held a cup? You don't need witnesses for that because ultimately it will become a revealed fact, right? What do you need testimony for? Something that without the testimony, you wouldn't know the fact, right? That's what a testimony is. In other words, let's put it, that's the metaphor. That's the idea of what testimony is, right? Because of this testimony, it reveals a fact that otherwise would not be known. Someone's on, sorry. That would not be known. So you need that testimony. So let's take that metaphor. Do I need testimony on God's presence the way he is in creation? No, not at all. We see the way God encloses himself in every aspect of creation in its unique way. So I don't need witness to that. I see it myself. You look at all of creation, you see the difference in the uniqueness of everything in creation. That's the way the light of God is enclosed, right? Like mishpatim, right? Ordinances, that makes sense. We see the rationality of God's presence in this world, right? We perceive it. We see the food chain. We see the hierarchy of things. We see how the world is nishtalshal from one level to another level. That's all perceptible. I don't need testimony from someone for that because I perceive it myself. Right. That then there is the chukim. That is right the mitzvah, the aspect of a mitzvah that's beyond rationale. It's hidden, but it's something that ultimately will become revealed. It's just beyond. Okay, it's beyond, and at some point we'll be able to appreciate that which is beyond. And the truth is, we appreciate that which is beyond because when we understand, we perceive godliness within creation, at the same time, we know that there's something beyond it that we don't get. That not getting itself is me kind of not, me coming to the not getting, that there's something wondrous that's beyond what I perceive. We get that. What are we getting? The negative of that I don't get, right? That itself is, yeah, right. Is it someone with a fob and it's all working? Is everybody's fob not working? Okay, I hope that's clear. Right? the concept of edus, testimony, testimony is a testimony on the essence of God himself. That's beyond God being beyond, right? Again, because being beyond means you're beyond something. It means you're relative to it. You are in relationship to it. No, that's something that's completely hidden for that, right? That is a component of every single mitzvah because we draw and reveal the essence of God through every mitzvah. In other words, in a mitzvah, there's a rational part that I can integrate and perceive, appreciate and understand. There's that which is beyond, that which I can appreciate and understand in the mitzvah, right? The wonderment that's beyond. And that, and each mitzvah, we have those two things. But then we have something, the third and the main thing of every mitzvah. That every mitzvah is drawing down the essence of God himself. Not godliness, right? That is within the world or beyond the world, but God himself, the essence of God. Every mitzvah does that. And therefore, every mitzvah is edus. What does it mean, edus? It's a testimony. A testimony on what? On God himself. Not God that's beyond the world. Not God that's within the world, but of God himself. That through the mitzvah, of course, mean that you are drawing down and connecting to the essence of God himself. Okay, now, we'll understand this further. The virtue of edus. Yeah. Intuitively, what do we think? We would think that the chokim, right, the ones that are beyond logic, the aspect that's beyond logic, that's the main, the greatest quality of a mitzvah and the greatest quality of God, that he's beyond, right? No, it's not that way. Again, because beyond means beyond something. Where's the starting point in chokim? Me. Starting point in mishpatim is me, my understanding. Starting point of chokim is my not understanding that there's something beyond. Me not understanding there's something beyond here, right? What's the starting point of edus? God. This is a reflection of him. This is, right? So let's understand. So, but since everything we always see through our perspective, I'm the center of my universe, right? So we would naturally intuitively think that the greatest component of a mitzvah is that which is beyond logic, beyond rational, as God is, right? Nope. Let's see further. Even though the chukim, you do feel that they are the will of God, right? Because of the wonderment of it, that it's beyond, right? That it's God's will that is beyond rationality, right? We all get, God can't be limited to rationality. After all, he's the creator of it. So he's not limited to it. He's beyond it. Okay, we get that. And therefore, we sense that, in that component of doing a mitzvah, that there's something beyond. Now, of course, we also want to appreciate and understand At the same time, we know that it's not limited to our appreciation, understanding it, and there we have the feeling of that connection, right? Yet, it's not as great as the component of edus, that it's a testimony. How that is, we'll continue tomorrow. All right, folks. Thank you. I hope you got to follow this. It's very um, uh, Dakistic. It's very refined and very, you know,